Vol fans, we are 4 days away from what we've been waiting for a very long time. Of course, I am talking about the commitment of five-star running back Savion Hiter. We've been on Hiter watch for what seems like the entirety of this summer since he announced that he would be committing on August 19th. Five-star prospect, number one running back in the nation in the class of 2026, 5'11", 200 pounds. This dude is as serious as they come. And we're going to discuss it on the show. But it seems as of right now, it truly is a 50-50 coin flip between the University of Michigan and the University of Tennessee. There's some other teams that we're going to talk about, some other teams that we'll mention in this show. But from everything I'm hearing outside of this, it really seems like it's either Michigan or Tennessee. And on today's show, we're going to get into the latest on his recruitment. Because a Michigan football player went on a 24/7 sports podcast and dropped a pretty big hint, and I think you need to hear what he had to say. Before that, though, okay, I sent this show idea into our company Slack, and our CEO is the host of our Michigan Football Report, proud Michigan fan, and he said, you know what, Joey, because you're doing that, and because I know Savion Hiter's coming to Michigan, which he's not, he said, I'm going to challenge you to erase the 50 subs on that video, okay? So if you want to help me out, and if you want to make sure that Savion Hiter comes to Tennessee, we got to win this thing today. So if you have not yet, subscribe, help us bury the Michigan Football Report, and put Tennessee Football Talk on the top like they belong right here at Chat Sports. So defensive back Shamari Earls joined the Michigan Insider 24/7 Sports. And while he was on that show, Webb, who is the host, asked him about Michigan's recruiting in Virginia. Because that's where Earls is from. That's where he played his high school ball. And they've already landed a couple of commits from the state of Virginia as well. And so he kind of was just checking in on that. Well, Earls had an interesting thing to say. He said, we're about to get a fourth one. A lot of fans will be excited for this one. I think he announces this weekend. Webb said, I think it's the 19th. Earls said the running back. Webb said, yeah. Obviously, Shamari Earls and Webb are talking about Savion Hiter. He even called out his commitment day by date, same state, same position. We're not dumb enough to not see through that, right? And I initially have two reactions to this statement, to this quote, when I saw it on social media. My first one is like, dang, that kind of sucks. My first one was like, oh, man, we lost out on a really good player. This guy probably knows best. He's within the program. But then I took a deep breath. Collected myself, collected my thoughts, and my second reaction was like, you know what? He's a true freshman. Like, he knows nothing. He's not in the ins and outs of recruiting. If this was Sharon Moore coming on a podcast and saying this, yeah, sure, that would speak to me. If it was one of their top recruiters coming on a podcast and saying this, yeah, that would speak to me as well. But it's a kid who was in high school 7 months ago. So I'm not going to make that the end-all, be-all. I'm not going to say, oh, okay, Savion Hiter's gone. No. That guy knows nothing. At least we hope he knows nothing. At least we hope that that was a quote of hope or expectance and not something of fact, not something that we needed to take as 100% truth that Savion Hiter, like Earl said there, is about to land with Michigan. Where do you think he goes? I've asked you this question before. But we've gotten a lot of new information since I asked you this last. Do you think he lands in Tennessee? If you do, go ahead, type T for me. If you think he lands in Michigan, cover your eyes, cover your ears, and go ahead, type M in the comment section down below. I am a very firm believer that nobody knows where he's going. Not you, not me. I don't even know if Coach Heupel or Coach Moore know where he's going. I think both head coaches, respectively, probably think he's leaning towards their schools, but he's been keeping his recruitment very, very quiet. Brian Don of 24/7 kind of went into that a little bit more. And speaking with sources, Michigan continues to feel good about where it sits going into Tuesday announcement. But Tennessee continues to recruit him and remains hopeful of swooping in and landing him. Hiter and his family took a shutdown approach when it comes to his recruitment the past few months. Sources said it was because of details of his recruitment, including revenue sharing, NIL developments, were being reported that the family did not want those out. And speaking of those NIL development and revenue sharing and all that, I do wonder if Tennessee's new deal with Adidas helps them land him. You know, the fact that they're now getting paid $20 million a year. The fact that they now can call up Adidas and say, hey, you know what? We really want this five-star running back out of Virginia. Can you go ahead and give him an offer of 4 years, $2 million a year to become an Adidas athlete? That might help swing him. But the thing that's so confusing about this is you don't really get a consensus opinion from anywhere you look on the internet. Because if you look at On3, they say 27% Ohio State, 23.6% Georgia, 17.4% Tennessee, and 14.5% Michigan. But everything that we've heard, everything that we've seen kind of has that all flipped. And 24/7 kind of aligns a little bit more with what we believe. Tennessee, warmer. Michigan, warmer. Georgia and Ohio State, they're still in the picture, but they're just warm. Like I said off the top, it seems like as where we're sitting right now on August 15th, it's truly just between Michigan and Tennessee. But it also just seems like nobody truly knows. Like Don said, they've kind of shut the recruitment down. They shut the water off. They're not letting anything leak out. This is something his family knows, and that's pretty much it. The buck stops there. If you're not a Hiter, you don't really know where he's going. He might not even really know where he's going as of right now. He'll know by the 19th, but nobody knows as of today. When he does commit, okay, I will have that first on Twitter. Okay, I'll tweet about it right when it happens. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8. Go ahead and give me a follow. I'll put the link to my Twitter in the comments and description of today's video. I've got a ton of Vol Nation following me over the past couple days, and I have loved it. Keep that going. Trying to get this following up, and you guys have been so awesome helping me do that. So when he commits, I'll at first on Twitter. You can find me at Joey Petersen 8. The stats are what you would believe a five-star running back stats would look like. 1,698 yards, 156 carries, 10.8 yards per carry, which means every time he touches the rock, it's a first down. Oh, and also just 26 touchdowns as well. And why I believe he would fit so well with Tennessee, I've already talked about this, but like this group, this coaching staff, Josh Heupel, he runs the ball so dang well and so dang much. 60.11% rush percentage. That's like academy numbers. Top 15 in the country. Rush yards last year, 12th. 2,936. 225 yards a game. That's top 10. 34 touchdowns. That's 10th. Don't you think a five-star running back, best running back in the nation, would want to come to a school that prioritizes running the football? And what I love about Tennessee is what Josh Heupel has proven is he can do more with less. Think about Jalen Wright. Think about Dylan Sampson. Neither of those guys were five stars, yet one of them was a player of the year. Both of them were fourth-round picks. Jalen Wright was a three-star, and he ended up getting selected in the fourth round of the NFL draft. Let's check on how Michigan's been doing with their running backs. Five-star, Donovan Edwards. Guess what? This draft came, this draft went, and he didn't receive a call. Imagine what Heupel could do with a five-star. Look at what he did with a three-star. Look at what he did with a four-star. Now imagine the best running back in the country in this system next to Faison Brandon. It'd be something really special. And he's really special, right? Equipped with ready-to-play mass as he's already tipping the scales at 200 pounds, says 24/7 Sports. Effective as both an inside and outside runner, as he's quick to chart a course and charge forward. Fast feet allow him to sidestep trouble as he frequently dances around would-be tacklers in the backfield and turns negative plays into positive plays. Core strength and lower pad level routinely negate arm tackles, while full-speed cuts make it even harder for defenders to get him on the ground, especially when he breaks through the first wave of obstacles. He reminds me a lot of Ashton Jeanty. And I'm not saying he's going to come and be a Heisman contender and rush for almost 2,000 yards, but the contact balance is very, very similar. The build is very, very similar. He's just like Jeanty. When he gets to that second level, you should almost give up trying to tackle him. Because truly, the only guys who can bring him down one-on-one are those massive defensive linemen. Because he's 200 pounds himself, and oh yeah, he can run like a 4.4 40. Not to mention, when it comes to Michigan, the NCAA sanctions are hitting. That has to, in my opinion, factor into his decision. Now, whether they're ultra serious or whether they're not, I believe that's going to play a part. I say all this to tell you, if I had to give a guess, if you made me put my cold, hard money on it, I would probably guess Michigan. And that's nothing, like, no knock against Tennessee. I just think they were maybe a little bit late to the party, and he's been on Michigan's radar for a very, very long time. Like, I think if his commitment lasted another 3 months, until he officially committed somewhere, I would like Tennessee's chances a lot. But I'd love to be wrong. That's it. Like, I can say I'd bet he goes to Michigan, but oh my goodness, I would be freaking out doing backflips if he committed to Tennessee. The best part is when he announces, we've got it covered right here on Tennessee Football Talk. Okay? We'll make a video as soon as it happens. Make sure you subscribe. It's also a good reason to turn on those notifications so whenever we drop a video, you guys can get notified. Make sure you got me on Twitter and Instagram as well, at Joey Petersen 8. Like I said, you can find all that information first on Twitter because it's quicker than putting a show together, getting on here at YouTube, and talking for 10 to 15 minutes, okay? Appreciate you guys for joining us today. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We've been growing at a rapid pace, and I don't want that to stop anytime soon. YouTube.com, at Vols Talk. That's where you'll find us for everyday coverage of your Tennessee Volunteers.